Now, when it comes to a campus interview, this question of what are your salary expectations may not be asked because simply the package is already pre-decided. But in your professional career, it may be really difficult for you to stay away from the question of what are your salary expectations. I've seen most of the candidates wonder or be in a situation wherein they cannot really answer this question because they're worried about two things. One, if I quote a figure which is more than what the recruiter expects, then I'm at a loss. What if I quote a figure that is less than what the recruiter wants me to quote? I am at a loss. How do you go about answering this question in the perfect way? Well, if you're clueless, this is the video that will give you the correct answer to this particular question to ensure that you ace your interview and land your dream job. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Guys, welcome back to the Marketing Empress. Let me start off by thanking you guys for 150 subscribers. Yay, we've reached the milestone that I had asked you guys to help me out with. And of course, with this milestone, I have the next milestone, which is that of 180 subscribers before I release the next video in the series of interview questions. As always, I will be telling you guys the topic for the next video in this video itself so that you are motivated to share this video with as many people. Ensure you get me 180 subscribers as soon as possible. So for the next video, the topic that we'll be looking at is what are your strengths? Now trust me guys, this is a question which is applicable to not only marketing students but any student or any professional in general. This is a very commonly asked question and there are some ground rules that you need to keep in mind while answering this question. So if you're interested and if you want me to release that video really soon, then ensure the Marketing Empress gets 180 subscribers and I'll release that ASAP. Now without further ado, let's jump into the content of this particular video. This video includes answers to the following questions. What is the reason behind asking this question? How should freshers go about answering this question? How should experienced candidates approach this question? And lastly, we'll look at the perfect outline to answer this question. Let me be honest. The first thing that you might think about is, why should I be the one quoting a figure? Shouldn't the recruiter actually tell me what is the salary that he or she is willing to give me? Yeah, well obviously that's the most preferred case. But it may not always be the case. So, it's always important to have a basic idea about how do you go about answering this question. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the start of the video itself, is that you are always at a loss if you are quoting a fixed figure because it may be lesser than what the interviewer had planned for you, or it may be so much more that the interviewer might think that this person thinks a little too highly of himself or herself. So, I am not going to go ahead and give them that amount. Maybe the interview becomes a negative all throughout. So that is a worry that you need to keep in mind before answering this particular question. What is the reason behind asking your salary expectations? Now I always say this, and this is applicable for this particular video or this particular question as well. The fact of the matter is that every interviewer or every interviewer is going to be different, alright? So the reason behind asking this question might be different and may change as per the interviewer. But broadly, in my opinion, there are two reasons why this particular question is popped up in an interview. Number one, to gauge your confidence. What is it that you think you are capable of, or what do you think is your worth, is what the interviewer wants to check. In case you're quoting a figure that is a little lesser than what the interviewer thinks you deserve, then the interviewer might get a signal that this particular person is not confident enough, or this person feels that I don't deserve as much, alright? So that's going to be a negative. The second reason to ask this question is simply to understand whether the salary bracket that they have for a specific role fits in with your expectations or not. For example, if you were interviewing for an assistant manager marketing profile or a role in a particular organization, then the company may have a salary bracket of say about 8 to 10 lakhs. And if you're quoting a figure somewhere in between, then you fit the bracket. But if you are asking for, say, a package of 20 lakhs, then of course you do not fit into the bracket. How should freshers answer this question? This is something that I have observed even while interviewing candidates for the Marketing Empress. Ensure that even if not true, you are putting across yourself as someone who is more focused towards learnings as against money. So do not go ahead and ask what is the kind of money that you're offering, what is the kind of package that you're providing. Do not do that. Wait for the interviewer to ask you this question, and it makes a lot of difference, guys. Trust me on this. It's going to make a lot of difference because eventually the interviewer doesn't want you to be someone who is money minded. Okay, and it may seem like that if you directly get to the point of paisa kitna de rahe ho. So do not be under that assumption, or do not be under that bubble, because that question is bound to pop up eventually. So wait for the interviewer to do that. The second mistake that I've seen a lot of freshers do is quote a direct figure. I want 6 lakhs as my package. Now, this is possibly the biggest mistake that you can get into. You do not want to quote a final figure. Alright, what happens then is, say for example, the interviewer had a bracket of say 5.5. Only for 50,000, you are missing out on your chance. So be open to negotiations. See what they are offering and then accordingly alter your requirements. Do not, and I repeat, do not quote a final figure as your salary expectation. Alright, next, understand your worth. Alright, what you need to do in this is make a list of your curricular activities, make a list of all your achievements so far, and mentally calculate the worth that you think you have. Alright, you can also possibly look out on websites like Glassdoor or something like that and get a basic idea about what this company, the company you're interviewing for, pays to freshers. You can get a ballpark figure and then accordingly decide whether you fit in the bill or not. How should experienced candidates answer this question? Now, like the other questions that I've answered in this particular series, even this particular question gets slightly easier for the experienced candidates. And this is because you already have your past figures to quote from. On an average, most of us can expect a hike of about 25 to 30% from your last pay package. But it may not always be the case, and you need to be open to that discussion as well. You need to have an understanding of why do you need a hike and what is it that you've achieved in your past job that ensures that you get this particular hike. But here I would like to take a pause and make you guys understand that money may not be as important as you might portray it to be. At the end of the day, you want to join a company that is not only giving you a good package, but is also giving you a set number of benefits as an add-on. Okay, so you do not want to just go ahead hunting for that one particular figure in your mind. You need to look at multiple things and then decide what you should be asking for. The other thing which is extremely important is few of the job posts may mention salary as per industry standards. So it's extremely important that you know the industry standards. What are these standards? Alright, what is an average package going on in that particular industry for the specific role that you're applying for? Say for example, you are getting into the insurance sector. You need to have a basic understanding of a particular role. Say for example, an assistant marketing manager in an insurance sector. What is the industry paying them as of now? Alright, and trust me guys, there are multiple websites that can give you a basic understanding of this. So at the back end, ensure that this particular information is already in place when it comes to answering this question. What is the perfect outline to answer this question? Now, the perfect outline for any answer will differ as per the candidate's experience and the overall achievements of the candidate. So I'm not only dividing it as per a fresher or an experienced candidate, it will differ based on a lot of things. Nonetheless, I have the perfect outline for you guys on the blog, themarketingempress.com, and I will just put the link to that in the description box below and you can go check it out. According to those steps, the outline that I have provided on the blog, you can devise your own answer and ensure that you crack this particular interview. So that's it for today's video. Again, before leaving, I want to remind you that the next video will be released when I reach a total of 180 subscribers. So I need a total of 30 more subscribers before the next video is released. The topic for which is what are your strengths. So ensure that you get me those 30 subscribers and I can release this next video as soon as possible. Like, share and subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell notification icon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.